plus, and you learned how to handle errors, how to create stored procedures, functions, triggers. One is left, dynamic SQL. Okay, then okay, then now let's see. So what is dynamic SQL is? Okay, then SQL commands generated at runtime are called dynamic SQL commands. SQL commands generated at runtime are called dynamic SQL commands. Okay, now then then so SQL commands generated at runtime are called dynamic SQL commands. Example example, drop table emp. Drop table emp. If you say drop table emp, so this command is what? Static SQL. Okay, this command is called static SQL command. Drop table emp. This is called static SQL command. Okay, then why? Okay, now. So why it is static SQL? Okay, then see, because you run this command, if this command changes, no. First time you run this, drop CMP table. Second time you run this, drop PMP table. Next time you run this, drop PMP table. Every time you run this command, it drops CMP table only. Okay. Every time you run this command, drops CMP table. So that's why this command is called what? Static SQL command. Okay. Then, so because it doesn't change. If something not changes, it is called static. If something changes, it is called dynamic. Now, let's see. Suppose, for example, I'll take one variable at the rate t name. T name is what? Varchar of 20. Now set at the rate t name equals to, suppose emp, next one, drop table name at the rate t name, drop table t name. So this command drops what table it drops depends on table name assigned to this variable. The table name assigned to this variable is emp. This command drops emp table. The table name assigned to this variable is what? Suppose customer. Then this command drops customer table. The table name assigned to this is DEPT. The command drops DEPT table. So which table it drops depends on table name assigned to this variable. What this command is called? This command is called dynamic SQL command. Okay, then. So this is called static SQL and this command is called dynamic SQL because which table it drops depends on table name assigned to the variable. The table name assigned to this variable is emp. This command drops emp table. The table name assigned to this variable is DEPT. This command drops DEPT table. So which table it drops depends on table name assigned to this variable. Understood then? So this is called dynamic SQL command. Okay. Oh. So if you see the previous examples, we use it variables. What for we use it variables? We use variables to input the data. Because after you input the data, to store the data, we need a variable. Yes or no? So we used variables for to input employee number, to input account number, to input student number, to input, okay, so some values. That means in all these examples, what you entered at runtime, in all the examples, what you entered at runtime, in all the examples, you entered what's the student number at runtime, employee number at runtime, account number at runtime. Yes or no? In any program, have you entered the table name at runtime? If you see first example to last example, in any example, have you entered table names at runtime? No. Okay. Have you entered column names at runtime? No. You entered values at runtime. What is the value? Employee number, student number, account number. Entered values at runtime. But in no program, you entered table names and column names at runtime. Okay. So by using this dynamic SQL, we can input the table names and column names at runtime. Okay, now then. So we can input table names and column names at what? Runtime. That means when dynamic SQL is useful, dynamic SQL is useful when we don't know table names and column names until runtime. I want to drop the table, but which table I want to drop, I don't know until runtime. I want to delete the table. I want to delete data. I want to delete the data from table, but which table I want to delete, I don't know until runtime. I want to truncate the table, but which table we want to truncate, we don't know until runtime. So that case, dynamic SQL is useful. Okay, now then. So then, dynamic SQL is useful when we don't know table names and column names until runtime. Okay, dynamic SQL is useful when we don't know table names and column names until runtime. Okay, then. So when we don't know table names and column names until runtime. So, okay, next. Okay, now. But question is how to execute the dynamic SQL commands. Okay, na? Then how to execute dynamic SQL commands in SQL Server. Okay. How to execute the dynamic SQL commands. There are two methods. One is exec, another one sp execute SQL stored procedure. Okay. One method is what? Then one method is, okay. Then one method is using exec. Okay, na? One method is using exec method. Another method is using what? Using sp execute SQL. There are two methods. Okay, na? So, like once again, suppose is directly possible. Like for example, let me run this program. Let me execute this program. I'm executing this program. No, it's not allowing. So this is a dynamic SQL command now. You can't directly execute this dynamic SQL commands. Dynamic SQL commands cannot be executed directly like this. Which commands can be executed? Static. Static SQL commands you can execute directly. But dynamic SQL commands cannot be executed directly. Okay, so it is giving incorrect syntax near @tname. Okay, na? Then how to execute dynamic SQL commands? Then so dynamic SQL commands are executed by using dynamic SQL commands are executed by using one is exec. execute or exec method. Okay. One method is what? By using exec execute command. Okay. Na? One method is then exec command. Another method is sp underscore execute SQL by using stored procedure. So there are two ways. Either by use this execute or exec command or sp execute SQL stored procedure. So there are two methods to execute dynamic SQL commands. Okay, then now first using exec. First using execute or exec command. Anything is okay. This is full, this is short. Then so whatever the dynamic SQL command you want to execute, that command should be passed as a string to exec command. Okay, then the dynamic SQL command that you want to execute should be passed as a string to exec command. The dynamic SQL command that you want to execute should be passed as a string to exec command. The dynamic SQL command that you want to execute should be passed as a string to exec command. Okay, but the dynamic SQL command that you want to execute should be passed as a string to exec command. Exec, then brackets, exec brackets, then single quotes, because it should be passed as a string. No, string should be always in single quotes. Then what you have to pass? Dynamic SQL command. Exec in single quotes dynamic SQL command. Whatever the command you want to execute, that command should be passed as a string. Okay, then so example, one example. Okay, then one example. Suppose I want to create a procedure to drop table. I want to create a procedure to drop the table from database. Okay, create a procedure to drop the table. Then how? Create or alter procedure name, drop table. See this, create or alter procedure name, drop table. But what do you want? You want to drop the table. Which table you want to drop? Pass the table name to this procedure. Pass the table name to this procedure. Then what? At the rate, what's her T name? At the rate T name, what that is? Varchar of 10, varchar of 100, something. Okay. Then create or alter procedure name. Your brackets are not required. At the rate T name. As, then what? As, then whatever the table you want to drop, the table name is passed to this parameter. Then what? Drop table, what? Table name, at the rate T name. But what this is? This is what? Dynamic SQL. This is dynamic SQL. But you can't directly execute the dynamic SQL commands like this. We execute the dynamic SQL commands by using exec. Then we have to use what? Exec. So single quotes, drop table. Suppose if I write drop table EMP, that means what happens? EMP table is dropped. Suppose if I pass here DEPT, department table is dropped. If I pass customer table is dropped. If I pass at the rate T name, then At the rate t name, table name is dropped. At the rate t name is not treated as parameter. At the rate t name is treated as table name. But this at the rate t name is not table name, because whatever you write it here, that is treated as table name. If you write emp, then emp is what? Table name. If you write dept, table name. If you write customer, customer is what? Table name. So whatever you write it here, that is treated as what? Table name. Yes. So if I write at the rate t name, that is also treated as table name. But at the rate t name is not table name. At the rate t name is what? Parameter. Always parameters and variables should be outside the single quotes. Okay, na? So it should be, this parameter should be outside the single quotes. Okay, then. So what? Just example. Suppose, like what? For example, there is a, like at the rate a integer equal to 100. I want to print. Suppose print what? Okay, na? A equal to, suppose value equal to a. If I print like this, then what is printed? Value equal to a. That means this whole thing is treated as string. The string is printed. Here a is not treated as what? Variable. A is treated as what? String. Okay, na? Then if you want to treat this as variable, then suppose if you write like this, it will print like this, value equal to at the rate a. So it is not treated as variable because it is in single quotes. Something in single quotes means it is treated as what? String. Then what you do? Concatenate plus cast at the rate a as varchar. Then now let's see. Now run this here. Because now it's outside the single quotes. Outside the single quotes means it is treated as what? Variable. Understood? Now here also, this is at the rate t name is at the rate t name. At the rate t name is treated as what? This whole thing is treated as string. But at the rate t name is not string. It is a what? Variable. Then it should be outside the single quotes. Plus at the rate what? T name. Okay, na? Here casting is not required. Here cast is required. Why? Because a is what type? A is what type? Integer type. But concatenation, for concatenation, all must be character type. But a is integer type. That's why a is converted to what type? Character type. But here it is not required. Why? Because t name is what type? Character type. So that's why not required. Casting is not required. So let me create this procedure. Let me create this procedure. Create the procedure. Commands completed successfully. Procedure is what, sir? Created. So procedure is created. After creating the procedure, then procedure is created. After creating the procedure, so then execute the procedure. Execute the procedure. Executing. Then how to execute the procedure? Execute procedure name. What is the procedure name? Drop table. Procedure name is drop table. In brackets, here, pass the value to this parameter. Pass the value to this parameter in single quotes. Suppose I'm passing some table name. So just pass one table name. So there are number of tables here. Then, so I'm passing some customer table, customers, CUST, customers. Then what I'm passing is customers. That's all. Now, so let me run this command. So customers table is what? Drop. Select star from customers. So the table is drop. You see, check invalid object name customers. Because the customer table is what? Drop. That's all. Here, this command is called dynamic SQL command because which table it is dropping depends on the table name passed to this parameter. Okay, then. So that means here, not only values, not only you pass values at runtime, student number, account number, employee number, we can also pass table names at runtime. We can also pass column names at runtime. Okay, then. But this is dropping only single table. Yes. Then suppose example 2. Then now create procedure to drop all tables from database. I want to drop all the tables from database, not one table. Okay, na? I want to drop all the tables. Create procedure to drop all tables from database. Then, so create or alter procedure name, drop underscore all underscore tables. Create or alter procedure name, drop underscore all underscore tables. Then next one. Suppose then, if you want to drop a single table, we have to pass the table name. If you want to drop particular table, you have to pass the table name. If you want to drop all the tables, table name is not required. Yes or no? If you want to drop all the tables, table name is not required. Okay, because you want to drop all the tables. If you want to drop particular table, table name is required. Now, so as then no parameter as then first get the list of tables. Get the list of tables. Store the list of tables into one variable. Fetch one by one table name. Drop the table. First get the list tables list. Store the tables list into one variable. Fetch one by one table name. Drop the table. Pass the table name to this command. But question is how to get the list of tables. How to get the list of tables? Select star from what information underscore schema dot what tables. Select star from information underscore schema dot tables. What this command gives? This command gives what? List of tables. Okay, it is giving the list of tables, and it is also giving the views V2, V3, CV1, CV2, V10. It is also giving the views, but I don't want views. I want only the tables. Then for table, it is saying base table. For view, it is saying view. Then if you want only the tables, then what? If you want only the tables, then where table what type equal to base table. Table type equal to base table. Then, so what it selects? It selects only the tables. Okay. So what this query gives? This query gives what? List of tables. I want to store this tables list, but I don't want all the data. I want only table names. Then don't select star, select only table name. Then see this. So what this query gives? What this query gives? This query gives what's a table name. This query gives table name. Okay. Then, so store this table names into one variable. Store this table names into one variable. But where we can store this table names? So this is returning how many values? 33 values. But where we can store this 33 values? How to store this multiple rows? To store this multiple rows, use what? Cursor. Cursor. Okay. Then as declared C1 cursor for query. This is the query. So what this query gives? This query gives what's a list of tables. Select table name from information schema dot tables where table type equal to base table. Then next. What the next one is? Open what's it? Okay, first take the variables. One variable t name. T name is what? Varchar of 100. Next one. Open cursor. Open the cursor. With the record from cursor. Fetch next from C1 into what t name. First time this fetch statement fetches first table name. This is the first table name. This table name is assigned to this variable. Whatever table name is assigned to this variable, I want to drop it. Then take a while loop. While at the rate what fetch status equal to 0 begin, then what begin, then so I want to drop this table. Some table name is assigned to this at the rate t name. I want to drop this table, then write this command. Okay na? Then exec brackets drop table, okay, plus at the rate what table name. Okay, then so whatever table name is assigned to this variable, the table is what drop. First table is drop. I want second table. So fetch the next fetch statement. Fetch statement fetches next one. Then what n close C1. Next one deallocate C1. Then that's it. Okay, then commands completed successfully. Procedure is what created. Procedure is created. After creating the procedure, execute the procedure. Procedure, execute the procedure. Execute procedure name. What is the procedure name? Drop underscore all underscore tables. So execute this procedure. So when this procedure is executed, one by one table name is what? Drop. Okay, na? Then so there are three tables. The three tables are not dropped. DEPT 99, DEPT accounts. Why? Because DEPT 99 is referenced by foreign key. DEPT table is referenced by V10. Accounts is referenced by foreign key. There is a primary key foreign key relationship is there. So in that you cannot drop parent table. You cannot drop primary key table. So if the foreign key table is there, you cannot drop primary key table. But remaining tables are dropped. If you want, you can check. Suppose select what? Select start from information underscore schema dot tables. Okay, then so let execute this then. Now see this, all are dropped, only 4 tables are not dropped. DEPT, DEPT 99, DEPT products accounts. So these tables are not dropped, but remaining tables are dropped. Understood? Okay na? Then that's it. So execution, this is how to execute. That's all. Okay. Then. Okay. So next. Then. So this is what dynamic SQL. Okay. Any command you can execute by using this execute. Then now, but one method is what using exec command. One more is that using sp execute SQL stored procedure. Okay, using what? Using sp underscore execute SQL stored procedure. There are two ways. Okay, now. So, but what is the syntax means? Syntax is same. Okay, then. So syntax is same. sp execute SQL statement, parameter name, data type, parameter value. And so it takes 3 arguments. So this is the difference between, okay, then. So you see this sp underscore execute SQL statement. Syntax. Statement, whatever the statement you want to execute statement, parameters, data type, parameter value. Sir, here, what the difference is? So exec, it does not accept parameters. sp execute SQL accepts parameters. Okay, now then what is the difference? Difference between exec and sp execute SQL, okay, is then. So what the difference is? exec doesn't accept parameters, but sp underscore execute SQL accepts parameters. sp execute SQL accepts parameters. So here only takes what? Statement. exec takes only the statement, dynamic SQL statement, but it will not take parameters. But here, so you can pass parameters here. Okay, then. Then. So, like, see this. What the example? Then let's take one example. So create a procedure. Sorry, create a procedure or write a program. Write a program to print number of rows in all the tables. Write a program to print number of rows in all the tables. Okay. Write a program to print number of rows in all the tables. That means in EMP table, how many rows are there? Department table, how many rows are there? Customer table, how many rows are there? Okay. Something. So table name, number of rows. Table name, number of rows. Table name, number of rows. I want to print number of rows in all the tables. Okay. Then, so now here, actually, what the command to count the number of rows? You have to write a command like this. Select what count star from EMP. This command gives number of rows, but here not from EMP, all the tables. Then what you have to do? You have to make this what? Dynamic. Your table name, you have to make this table name what? Dynamic. Because you want to count number of rows in all the tables. Then make this table name as what? Dynamic. Okay. Then now let's see. Then now. So first I'm declaring what? Declare. Okay. Then C1 cursor for select. How to get the table names? Same like previous. Select table name from information underscore schema dot tables. Then same like previous. So this command gives table names. Then next, declare what? At the rate T name, varchar of 100. At the rate count CNT integer. Okay, na? Then at the rate CNT integer. Let's see once again. Now, open cursor, open C1, open the cursor. Okay. Then, so fetch the record. Fetch next from what? Fetch next from C1 into at the rate T name. First time this statement fetches first table name, and the first table name is assigned to T name. So whatever table name is assigned to at the rate T name, I want to count number of rows in the table. I want to count number of rows. Then what? Take a while loop. Then at the rate fetch status equal to 0. Begin. Then at the rate fetch status equal to 0. Begin. Then count the number of rows in this table. How to count number of rows? Okay, na? How to count number of rows? Then count star. Okay, na? Select count star. One second. Then select count star. So I'm taking a variable at the rate str. Okay, na? Str what? Varchar of 100 something. So whatever the dynamic SQL command you want to execute, pass that command as a string to this variable. So set at the rate str equal to. So whatever the dynamic SQL command you want to execute, assign that command to this variable. Then what is that is? Select what? Count star. Select count star from. Select count star from table name. But where is the table name? The table name is there in this variable. So plus what? Plus then select count star from. Okay. Select count star from plus at the rate what? Table name. Okay. At the rate table name. Then now next, and one more thing. So, but see, previous command is what? Drop command. Drop table name. So when you run this command, okay, na? When you run this command, what happens is it will drop the table, but it will not return any value. Drop command, insert command, update command, delete command, select command. Sorry. Drop, insert, update, delete, truncate. Okay. So all these commands will not return the value, but select statement return the value. The select statement, select the count star from. Whenever this command is executed, this command return the value. Yes or no? What this command returns? Number of rows. Whenever this command is executed, this command returns value. What this command returns? Number of rows. Store that values into one parameter. At the rate what? Okay. Just then I'm taking one, suppose what? Parameter. Then so I'm taking at the rate what? So, but this is variable. this is variable, then at the rate cnt equal to, what is at the rate cnt? In this statement, I'm taking one parameter. At the rate cnt is called parameter. Okay. So when this command is executed, this command returns count. That count is assigned to this parameter. Okay, now, so this whole thing is assigned to string variable at the rate str. This whole thing is assigned to this variable at the rate str. Execute this command. How to execute this command? Execute sp underscore execute SQL, then at the rate what? str. So whatever the command is assigned to this variable, what is the command assigned to this variable? This command. The string is assigned to str. You're passing that string to sp underscore execute SQL. So this is the syntax. sp underscore execute SQL. So what statement you want to execute? If any parameters are there, declare the parameters. Next one. So assign the value. Now, so now sp underscore execute str. In this, any parameter is there? Yes. What is the parameter? You've taken a parameter at the rate what? cnt. What is the data type? Integer. So because this variable, sorry, this parameter, because what is assigned to this parameter? Count. Count is what type? Integer type. So declare this parameter as integer type. Okay. Next one. Next, so whatever the value is assigned to this parameter, assign that value to variable. This parameter, some value is assigned to this parameter. Whatever value is assigned to this parameter, assign that value to variable. I'm taking one variable. Suppose then table count, tb count, tbcnt, integer, table count. Okay. Then row count or row count, something, row count. So then assign at the rate cnt equal to at the rate row count output. So whatever the value is assigned to this parameter, whatever the value is assigned to this parameter, that value is assigned to this variable. Okay. Then, so, and this parameter is what type? Output parameter. Okay, na? Then, now, next print a table name. Print table name. Where is the table name? Table name at the rate what? T name. So table name is assigned to this variable, plus I want to print count. Where is the count? Count is passed to this variable. The table count is passed to this variable, row count. Then cast, then at the rate row count as varchar. Okay. Then and close C1, deallocate C1. Understood? Then, so this is the dynamic SQL command to find number of rows, but this command returns a value. This command returns a value. The return value is assigned to this parameter. So I declared the parameter. This parameter is integer parameter. But whatever the value this parameter is, I'm assigning that value to the variable. Okay. Then, now let me create this, run this program. Let me run this program. Then, so must declare the scalar variable row count. Not declared. Then must declare the scalar variable row count. Row counter. What is that I use it? Row count. Otherwise, here row cnt. Here also use cnt. Okay. I think tables are not there. Declare this parameter as what type? Output. Next. And one more here point is, here SP underscore execute SQL take statement now. The statement should be what type? The statement should be, you see this, the statement should be what type? This type. Once again, the statement should be this type. Ntext, nchar, nvarchar type. So the statement should be whatever the statement you pass, that statement should be this type. But I taken the statement as what type? Varchar type. You declare this as what? Nvarchar. Because it takes only nvarchar type. But here varchar type. That's why it is giving error. Next one. So this is first one is completed, but second one. First table is completed. Second table. Again fetch. Okay, na? Then. So because it prints first table number of rows. I want second table. Again fetch statement. This fetch statement fetches second table. Okay. Then. So let me run this. So DEPT what? 991. DEPT 99. 1 row. DEPT 4 rows. Products 4 rows. Accounts 2 rows. So what it is printing? It is printing number of rows in each and every table. But I want a space between table name and then number of rows. So run this here. Then see this. DPT 99, 1 row. DPT 4 rows. Products 4 rows. Accounts 2 rows. So what it is printing? Number of rows in each and every table. Okay. Then. So this is the program to print a number of rows in each and every table. N means nvarchar. N means nvarchar. Okay. Then. Now, actually, when something in single quotes means it is varchar, string, varchar type. But if it is prefixed with n, the string becomes nvarchar. Okay. That's all. So this is what dynamic SQL. So one method is using exec, another method is using execute SQL. But this is not possible by using exec because here I declared what the statement contains a parameter. When statement contains parameter, you can't use exec. Compulsory you have to use SP execute SQL because in SP execute SQL we can pass parameters. We can declare the parameters. Okay, then that's all. That's all. So this is dynamic SQL. So with this, the TSQL programming is completed. TSQL programming is completed. Okay, na? Then. Okay. Next. Oh. There are some topics that are not related to this programming, not related to SQL. They're related to, okay, administration. Okay, na? Then. No. Okay. Oh. So there is a call backup and restore. Okay. There is a call backup and restore. Then how to take backups, how to restore. And suppose, see, for example, this is the database. Some database is there, DB4PM. Let's check any tables are there, DB4PM. Okay, some 4 tables are there, customer, department, EMP, sales, like this. I want to take the backup. Okay, then to take the backup, select the database, right click, select task, select what backup. Okay, why we take backups? We take backups if suppose if any failure occurs, database is corrupted, database is what damaged. To recover the database from the failures, always we maintain what backups. So how to take backup? Select the database, right click, task, backup. Okay, then. So what it is asking is, it is asking where you want to then. So database, DB4PM. Which database you want to take backup? DB4PM. What is the backup type? There are 2 types, full, differential. Full means full database is copied to backup. Differential means only changes are copied to the backup. Full means my database contains 100 tables. All 100 tables are copied to the backup. Differential means only changes are copied to the backup. Means suppose since last backup, you taken backup 1 week back. So since 1 week, whatever the changes are made, since 1 week, I created 2 tables. Only the 2 tables are copied to the backup, but not full database. That is what differential means. Okay, na? Full means full database is copied to backup. Differential means only changes are copied to the backup. Okay, then suppose I am selecting full. Next, where you want to keep the backup file? I want to keep the backup file in disk or URL. Where you want to keep the backup file? Disk or URL. Suppose if I say disk means where you want, C drive or D drive or what. URL means cloud. If you want to keep the backup in cloud, select URL. If you want to keep the backup file disk, then select disk. Now when you select disk, then it add. So it is asking the file name. So where you want to keep the backup? I want to keep the backup in D drive. In D drive, there is a folder, Naresh folder. In Naresh folder, I want to keep the backup. What is the database name? db4pm.bak. So what is this extension of backup file is .bak. D:\Naresh db4pm.bak. Then what? Okay. Then, so click what? Okay. When you click OK, so backup is created. When you click OK, backup is created. Then, so the backup of database db4pm completed successfully. Okay. Okay, now. So when this backup, like where you can find this D drive. So go to D drive. In D drive, Naresh folder. See that db4pm bak is available. db4pm.bak. So that file is created in D:\Naresh. When this is useful when you want to recover the database. Suppose db4pm is corrupted. db4pm is damaged. So what I'm doing is I'm manually deleting the database. Okay. So db4pm is deleted. Now, even if it is deleted, no problem. You can recover the database because backup is available. How to recover? So database what? Right click, restore. Okay, na? Database is right click, restore database. When you select restore database, then, so it is asking which database you want to restore. which database you want to restore. Okay, na? So source database or device. Source is database or device. Because where is the backup? You are recovering from backup. Where is the backup? Backup is there in hard disk. That means device. So device, browse, select the backup file, click add, select the backup file. Where is the backup file? Backup file is there in what? D drive. D drive, Naresh folder, db4pm.bak. Okay. 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 Then. No. That's all. So you see that db4pm is recovered. Okay, na? So it is recovered with what? 4 tables. That's all. Because it contains 4 tables, it is also recovered with 4 tables. That's all. Simple. Taking the backup and restoring the database from the backup is simple. Okay. Okay. Then see, URL restore means Azure. Azure. When backup is stored in what? Azure cloud. Okay, na? Then. Oh. So you're asking how to take backup means same thing. See this. Like task, select task, backup, task backup. Then so database, what is the backup type? Full or differential? And here you have to select the file where you want to keep the backup. That's all. Only two. Backup type plus file. Okay. Then add. But I want to keep the backup in D drive. D drive. What? Naresh folder. Then what is the database name? db4pm.bak. Extension is bak. Okay. Okay. That's all. Backup is created. The backup of database db4pm completed successfully. Backup is created. That's all. See, backups will be there in folder. Okay, no? As long as that folder is there, that backups will be there until you delete that file. Okay, no? Next. So there are two left. One is, okay, no? Temporary tables are there. Temp tables. Okay, then. So we'll see that temp tables. Okay, na? So here one is asking normalization. Temp tables and normalization. So when this is completed, the course is completed. Temporary tables and table variables. 2 days. Okay, na? Then. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Tomorrow this will be completed. Day after tomorrow this is completed. Normalization. That's all. So if anything is there, then we'll discuss. Okay. Backup process. What is there, boss? Simple. This is what? Select the database, right click, select task, select backup. Database, right click, task, select backup. When you select backup, then it is asking backup type. So select full or differential. Next one, select the file where you want to keep the backup file. Add what? Type the file name where you want to keep the backup. That's all. What is there in this? Then okay. Then okay. So that's all. Backup is created. Restore process. Then suppose I'm deleting DB 4 p.m. But in real time, you don't delete. But in real time, you'll be losing the database or damaged. The database is damaged. Database is corrupted. So that case, the database is restored. How to restore? Database is right click, restore. Database right click, restore. So restore. What is the source device? Because you are restoring from backup. Backup is there in the disk device. Then next, add. So select the backup file. It is there in the D drive, Naresh folder. So select DB 4 p.m. Okay. then okay. That's all. So if you select the backup, everything comes automatically. Okay. So database is what restored successfully. You can see that database in the list. No, there is no backup at table level. There is a backup at database level. There is no backup at table level, row level like that. So backup is there at database level. Okay then. Hmm? Lunch naila hai.
Sir, am I audible?
Oh,
Actually, my doubt is like I'm in day-to-day basis. I will work with the SQL Server and some other Asterisk. I'm working in a virtual calling
oh,
related software. We are working in that. On an everyday daily basis, I will work with MySQL. So here, what will happen? Sometimes there are a bunch of rows, bunch of tables we will use in database. Sometimes what will happen is for the particular table only, everyday, daily, day-to-day basis, the data will be get higher and higher. Then what we need to do is we need to delete the old data from that particular table. In that kind of scenario, what we'll do is we will take that particular table back. Okay, we will keep somewhere and we will delete with that table like we will delete no, sir, like delete like a specific day, like specific time. Here we will give the target and we will delete the data. But we will keep that specific table for the backup. If in future we need to show that in a report, then we will directly create a dummy table again, and we will insert the table data into the database. And according to that, according to the coding level, we
That
will
is
show
not
that.
required here. That is not required. Directly you can do it in SQL Server. Create table name with some. You can access it from other databases. Okay, na? With command like dbo dot database name dot dbo dot table name.
Okay. Actually,
Okay, na? Because in MySQL you are connected to one database, but if you want to access like tables of other databases, then you need dumps and etc. But here it is not required.
Okay, actually, that will be my query. Like,
Yes.
is it possible to we can take one particular table, only the backup, and then we will keep somewhere and we can do
Backup
the
is different. That's what your thinking is different. Like backup is different. Backups are created database level, even in SQL, MySQL also. Okay, na?
I know that, sir. I understood that thing.
Yes.
Just run the commands according to the backup, according to the backups on the
Anywhere.
database only.
Anywhere, not only here in Oracle also, they do the backups at database level only.
Okay.
Okay, na?
You are saying
Backups
that,
are not
that is copying. You are saying like dump.
Yes,
We will use
copying.
the dump command.
That is dumps. Dumps you can do it database level, table level, etc.
Is that possible in SQL, sir?
SQL Server, like what you can easily create.
Okay, there is no command like from the command prompt. We cannot take anything backup or any. We cannot just we can move the data to one table to another table. That's it. In SQL.
Yes,
Okay.
but command is there. Backup command is there. That is also database level only.
Okay.
Okay,
Not
na?
in a table
That is
level.
not table level.
Okay.
Anywhere, not only Oracle also, they don't do it table level. Backups are at always database level only.
Actually, in real
Can I-
time, what will happen, sir? Actually,
The dumps you are saying dumps. The dumps is different. Backup is different. Okay.
Okay, that's a
Then-
query actually. That's it.
Yes.
Understood. That's a query. In real time, what will happen in my my daily day-to-day basis? Like one table will be there, like agency RM. Every day, whatever the customers will call to one call center, that data will store it in one table.
One table.
Only
Okay.
one table. There is a table called customer CRM table. In
Hmm.
that CRM table, every day the data will be stored. What
Hmm.
will happen whenever a new call will come now with the same number? If the new call is keyed,
See,
every-
that's all. Here, once again, that is the one scenario. Okay, na? What you are explaining is some scenario.
Mhm.
That how that scenario is implemented in MySQL. That is what. Okay. But here same scenario can be implemented, but maybe procedure may be different.
Yeah. That's why
Okay, na?
I'm a little bit
Ah.
confused with this SQL
Hmm.
procedure. Because of that
Yes.
reason, is it possible in SQL we can take particular things like particular tables or particular table inside of the tables there are some like 1, 2, 3. There will be a columns will be there. So according to the rows, we can take in a what MySQL what we can do is, according to the table, and we can take some we can put the limit and we can take that much of data only like that. Is that possible in SQL? We can take we can
Yes,
give the
yes,
limit.
yes. That is
Take-
export import. What you are asking is export import.
Okay,
Okay, na?
that we not discuss
That is in
this
SQL
class.
Server. We can do it export and import.
Okay, from particular limit data only we can export and import.
Export and import. That is in SQL Server export import. That is in MySQL dumps. Okay.
Mhm. MySQL dumps we do
Yes.
that according to we will in .SQL format only we will save that file. All the data we will move to the .SQL format, for some particular directory or file. Then we can keep somewhere.
Okay.
That would
Yes.
be it.
We can do that in SQL Server also by using export import.
Okay, but that actually not explained because of that
Okay.
reason only.
Ah. We'll see that in the next. Okay, na?
Yeah, that will be very
Okay.
helpful in day-to-day basis. Because every
Okay.
day we need to some particular data.
In
only
which file you keep the table data?
Actually, here what we in whatever the names, if like if we can give the any name of that. In a
No, not
.SQL
name.
format.
I'm asking about file. You keep the data in one file, na?
Mhm.
Table data. In which file? What is the extension of that file?
.sql, sir. In MySQL, we can kept in .sql format.
Dot
SQL.
.sql. Okay.
Right. .sql
That is
.sql, we can export the data and we can kept somewhere, anywhere.
okay.
In
Okay.
future also, we can implement the same data, like revert it back. There will be a greater than or less
Okay,
than
I understood.
equal to,
I
With
understood.
that, we can import and export in MySQL. Is it
Okay.
possible in SQL that we can take some bunch of data, like 1,000 records data?
That's all.
Somewhere
We can keep it in Excel file. Next what? We can restore. We can
like that.
we can keep it in text file, or we can keep it in Excel file like that in SQL server. Okay. Okay.
That part we not touched in this.
That is actually I started today only. This admin session backup restore. Okay, na?
Because the developer also need this kind of features, because every
Okay.
time they cannot go with a go to the
Okay,
admin and we
okay.
cannot ask all these things. That will be helpful for the developer to day-to-day basis. They can
Okay, okay. We'll do that in the next class. Exporting. Okay. Bye.